Friends, we are going to discuss about the syllabus of the third year biology semester 5, paper number 12. It is your last but one semester. So, the title of the paper is Ecology and Geography. Ecology is nothing but the interrelation between animals and their uh, surrounding. It's called as ecology. Whereas zoogeography, it is dealing with the that scientists have formed certain regions on the earth depending on their geography. So it is called as zoogeography. So this particular paper it is divided into 4 units as usual. It is also having the same type of CA and ESC, that means 10 form marks for internal evaluation and 40 marks for theory paper as your university examination. So we will see syllabus thoroughly. So unit 1, it is divided into 4 subtopics, namely ecology, introduction to ecosystem, biogeochemical cycles, and spheres of earth. So first one, that is ecology. Ecology, that means the interrelation between animals and their surrounding. It is simply called as the ecology, and its scope we have to discuss in this particular segment of unit 1. Segment second of unit 1, it is dealing with the ecosystem. Ecosystem is the smallest subunit of ecology. It may be small as that of aquarium or small pond, or may be large as that particular ocean. So we have to discuss about the ecosystem. Ecosystem is the self-regulating unit of ecology, in which there we can study the interrelation between animals to their environment. Each and every ecosystem it is consists of abiotic and biotic components. So in the first segment, that is 2.1 of ecosystem, we have to discuss about the abiotic components of ecosystem, that is light, temperature and water. These are the non-living components of ecosystem. Whereas in the segment of biotic components, we have to discuss producers, consumers and decomposers. Producers, which can synthesize the energy, simply called as the plants, whereas consumers, which are feeding, which are depend on the plants for their food, maybe herbivore, primary consumer, or secondary or tertiary consumer, that is carnivores, and last one decomposers. Decomposers are simply called as the, or these are the microorganisms which are returning the energy or the compounds again to the environment. It is called as the decomposers. Next segment of unit 1, it is introduction to ecosystem. We have to discuss two types of ecosystem, one from aquatic and one from terrestrial. In case of aquatic ecosystem, we will discuss about pond ecosystem, and in case of terrestrial, we will discuss desert ecosystem. Pond, that is where water it is in rich quantity, whereas desert, in which the water is absent or very less, or the it is, we can say, the with the harsh environmental conditions, it is desert. Next one, we have to discuss about various aspects of ecosystem, that is food chain, the simple chain from producer to consumer to decomposer, again to food web, which is called as the interlocking of food chain. That means one animal, it occurs at two or more places in case of food web. And last one, that is ecological pyramid. Pyramid of number, pyramid of biomass, pyramid of energy. So we will discuss in the this 2.3, and the 2.4 of segment second, that is energy flow in an ecosystem. It is the soul of the ecosystem because every animal it requires energy, and in which ratio the energy it is transferring from producer to herbivore, herbivore to first carnivore to second carnivore to decomposer. We will discuss this particular concept in the 2.4. Here, the end of subtopic 2 of unit 1. The unit, the third segment it is biogeochemical cycle. So we have to discuss about two types of cycle, that is gaseous and sedimentary. Gaseous cycle, that means whose source it is gas or the atmosphere, and again from that atmosphere that particular gas it is coming to organism, and again going return to the environment. It is gaseous cycle. Example, it is oxygen cycle. And in case of sedimentary cycle, the major source of that particular component it is the soil, the earth, the sediment. So it is called as sedimentary cycle. That means that particular here we are going to discuss about the sulfur. That means the sulfur it is coming to organism from the soil, and it is again going to the soil in the cyclic manner. It is called as the sedimentary cycle. It is the end of subtopic 3, and the subtopic 4, the last subtopic of unit 4, it is spheres of earth, which is divided into 4.1 to 4.5. It is atmosphere, envelope of air, lithosphere, that soil. Soil it is that particular segment of the earth which is the zone up to germination. Then hydrosphere, water, biosphere. It is the area of the earth or the simply earth or the atmosphere, lithosphere, and the hydrosphere, up to which we can find the living animals. It is called as the biosphere. Next one, that is ecological succession, in which we have to discuss about the trends, basic types in hydride and xeras. Hydride, that means if the life it is originating from in the aquatic medium and then it is getting converted into the forest, it is the ecological succession in hydride. Whereas same type of condition occurs in case of the xeras, that means that life it is originating in the xerophytic condition in the stone, on the stone, from that lichen up to the forest. That means in ecological succession, one type of group of animal it is replaced by the another type of group of organisms or animals. It is called as the ecological succession. Here there is unit one, end of unit one. Next to unit second, it is divided into two subtopics, that is population ecology and biotic interaction. Population ecology, that means population it is nothing but the number of uh, animals of a same species, number of organisms of a same species. Say for example, population of human being, population of tiger. So each and every population it has certain ecological concepts, that is natality, birth rate, mortality, death rate, population dispersal, density, age distribution, population growth form, population equilibrium and fluctuation. So these all aspects are important for the conservation of any animal. If we want to conserve the tiger, so at that time we should have the knowledge about its all aspects. That means which factors are affecting its death rate, which factors are affecting its mortality, what is the age distribution, what is the sex distribution, what is the population growth for. So these are the important aspects of ecology to conserve any animal. Next topic is biotic interactions. So there occurs interaction between two animals of any habitat. So it is of two types, that is positive and negative. If no animal is getting hurt, it is called as positive type of biotic interaction. Examples are commensalism and the mutualism. Whereas the negative interactions are those if one of the animal it is getting harm, competition, predation, and the parasitism. We will discuss in detail during the theory lectures. It is the end of subtopic 2 and unit second. Next it is unit third. It is divided into two subtopics. pollution and energy resources. In our syllabus, we have to discuss about the three types of pollution, that is air, water, and noise. That means sources, effects, and controls of air pollution, of water pollution, and the noise pollution. The pollution occurring in the air, it is called as air pollution. Pollution occurring in the water, it is called as water pollution. Whereas noise pollution, it is that particular unwanted sound at the unwanted location. It is called as noise. That means simple talk in the library, it is noise. Whereas that type of talk on the road, it will not be the noise. So it is depending on that particular location. So which are the sources of these pollutions, which are the effects of these pollutions, and what are the control measures of these pollution. These all three pollution we will discuss in the subtopic 1 of unit 3rd. Next topic, it is energy resources. We have to discuss about conventional and non-conventional energy resources. Conventional, that means which we are using since long period, which are called as the paramparik urja srot, and non-conventional, that is aparamparik, which we are not using since long period, or which are somewhat new to us. So in case of conventional energy resources and their limitations, we have to discuss about the fossil fuel, nuclear power, and the tidal power or the hydropower. And in case of non-conventional energy resources, we have to discuss about their advantages, their limitations, and latest developments. In case of solar energy, in case of wind energy, and in case of the tidal energy. Solar from the sun, wind from the speed of the that wind or the air, speed of the air, and tidal. Uh, we always or we have that particular concept, low tide, high tide, which occurs in the coastal areas, which is called as the tidal energy. Last, it is unit 4, which is divided into three subtopics, that is adaptations, wildlife conservation and endangered species, and the zoo geographical realm. So, adaptations are the type of modifications which are made by any animal to make it suitable in a particular habitat. So, the first one, it is aquatic adaptations, by which that animal it is becoming suitable to live in water. Desert adaptations, to live in harsh environmental conditions where there is scarcity of water and very high temperature. And Holland adaptations, by which that animal it is becoming more efficient to live in the aerial uh, habitat. So aquatic best example, it is fish, dolphin, then desert, that snake, rattlesnake, and Holland in case of the birds. Then wildlife conservation and endangered species, it is divided into again four subtopics. So 2.1, aims and necessity of wildlife conservation, why we have to conserve the wild fauna or wildlife, which are the endangered animals of India, measures to protect endangered species in India, and sanctuaries and national parks in India. Sanctuaries, that means where there is protection to on the animals, which are in Marathi are called as the Abhyaranya, whereas national parks in which the protection it is given to flora and fauna called as the Rashtriya Udyan. And last subtopic of unit 4, it is zoo geographical realm. Uh, we have to discuss about the physical features and fauna of Oriental realm and Australian realm. Oriental realm, that means in which there is our country, India, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, China. These are certain parts of the India of Oriental realm. Realm, it is that particular region which is separated by certain boundaries, huge boundaries, which cannot be crossed by animals. So that's why these regions have typical fauna. Say, for example, in case of India, we have ocean, we have desert, we have Himalaya. So these are certain type of boundaries. In case of Australia, it is a type of island. It is surrounded by ocean. So it is also having its typical physical features and fauna. So we have to discuss about the physical features and fauna of these two regions of Earth. So here there is end of unit 4 and the syllabus. Thank you.